You're watching On Demand. Please check the closing time before trying to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Jane Moore, Brenda Edwards, Judy Love, and Frankie Bridge.
Hello and welcome to your Wednesday Loose Women. Coming up, our debate of the day, is it rude to phone somebody out of the blue? It's divided us today, and we'll be playing a little game of voicemail roulette later that you will not want to miss. Also, Brenda will be giving us the backstage gossip from last night's NTAs, including what you didn't see on TV. Oh yes, and from comedy to Craig Revel Horwood, he's conquered them all. We'll be catching up with Bill Bailey about everything from the new Strictly lineup to why he's suggesting names to his pregnant dance partner, Oti. Now, lots of children are heading back to school today, but would you send your children to an online school? Now, these are actually growing in popularity among kids who say that mainstream school isn't for them. It's different to homeschooling, and it's taught virtually by a licensed teacher in a classroom setting. What do you reckon to that, Judes?
I mean, if I'm honest, we want time at home without the kids, don't we? But no, I think, look, each child has their own different needs. My concern is that bit by bit we are filtering out and taking away opportunities for socialising. And we know that for young people, this is really important in their self-development, in their identity, and their education. I think if there's somewhere in between, depending on your child's needs, that maybe there's some days that they do online within the school, but they're still active. Because even people who homeschool, they still have, like, social groups that they come together. So that would be my issue. Don't get me wrong, it depends on your child's individual needs, but I think in society at the moment, we're so becoming just very, like, distant from everybody, you know, and that's what would be my concern.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose if there's a bullying situation, you can kind of understand why somebody wouldn't want to go to mainstream school, but you kind of wonder, they need to kind of deal with the cause of the anxiety rather than isolating the child even further. What do you think, Brenda?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The whole, you know, I think anxiety in children and young people has risen so much over the last few years that I think that's why this is now coming. Maybe they've identified that there are so many children that are not going to school. What is the reason? But as you say, with bullying and things like that, and online bullying, you know, I think, and if you've got a child with learning disabilities, I think it can be beneficial to at least they're getting some form of education. Some form of education is better than none. For myself, when I was growing, there was never an option of not going to school. It was never an option. You know, I am proud to say I enjoyed school. I loved it. I got an Outstanding Pupil of the Year award for perfect attendance. Yeah. I was a bit of a teacher's pet, teacher's swat. I was a prefect, and, you know, and I enjoyed that. And so that was always instilled in me. You will go to school and you will study. So it would never even come into my head.
There wasn't no option.
No option.
Frankie, you've spoken openly about your anxiety over the years. Do you sort of understand maybe why?
I do. I think, you know, they have such a long time off, especially over the summer holidays. They all have such long time off, and I think it's then really daunting to go back, and they know they're going back into a new year, maybe a different teacher, maybe different friends in their class and things like that. And I do think I've had those conversations with my kids over the last week of, Mummy, I'm scared to go back. I don't know how to do this. I've got to play, even things like they've got to play matches against other schools, and they're nervous about that situation. And you just have to listen, and I remember those feelings. But for me, I think I'm really stuck in the middle, because I really believe that kids need to go and they need to socialise and they need to be in that environment. But I do also feel like not one size fits all. And sometimes I have looked for alternative options for my kids. It doesn't mean that I've chosen them, but there are a lot of people out there looking for it. So I think it's good that it's there. But I think everything, like you say, if you can do a bit of both, 100%. But the anxiety thing, especially after COVID, is a really big thing. And, you know, my kid was really young during it, and it's really affected them. And you can see they're years behind other kids at their normal age emotionally.
And the balance is important. I think as well, we have to try and let children understand that you could facilitate online at home, but then when they go to college and when they go to university and just life in general, having a job, there's going to be situations... Barriers. And there's going to be situations where you have to engage with people. We know from being adults working, not necessarily here, but other jobs, you've worked with people that you don't necessarily get on with or you feel anxious, but it's about building that support network and finding ways to encourage you and make you feel stronger 100%. In that situation.
I mean, like, absolutely. Like you, Brenda, I had a great time at school. I really enjoyed it, but I do appreciate that lots of children don't, and it is sort of finding that balance, isn't it? Well, staying with schools, many of us will be making sure to buy books and backpacks for the kids returning. But how about Botox for yourself? Yes, the US has seen a huge rise in parents requesting cosmetic treatments so they don't look worn out at the school gates. Wow! Now, I have no idea why I'm coming to you first, Frankie, because you don't need any treatments.
I'm tired. You know what? It's a funny one. Like, I kind of see how that has become a thing. I mean, I'm really lucky. I always laugh because I'm like, all the parents at my kids' school must think I'm like Jekyll and Hyde because they might see me online or see me on here where I've had my hair and makeup done, or like, I wasn't at the NTAs, but at the NTAs on the red carpet in a gown, and then I come into school with my kids and my hair's shoved on top, I've got no makeup on, I've not even showered yet, I've got leggings on and trainers, I'm just rushing the boys out the car like, did you clean your teeth, you know? I haven't got time to be thinking about how I'm looking at that time. So I guess Botox would probably be a great one because you look fresh every day. But I just think it wouldn't be at the top of my list because I'm still trying to get shoes that fit them the day before they go back. But it can be competitive in the school playground, sadly, and that was something actually I learned really early on, and it really shocked me. And I remember having a day where I was like, but surely I'm an adult now, my kids are at school, I'm past this point of my life, but that's not the case for all mums, so I can see why it happens.
Well, you're lucky, because some of the days I turn up at school, you're lucky if I've got a bra on.
I didn't say anything about a bra.
I just got to keep it how it is. I just got to keep it real with you. I understand what you're saying. I'm just running in. I do hear what you're saying about this whole being like this, competing with other mums. I see the mums. I see the WhatsApp groups. I'm in some WhatsApp groups, and you see the mums who like turn up perfect. The children are perfect. They know all the events. I mean, when my daughter was little, I remember dropping her off to school, and at the school gate, they're like, "Oh, today's book day," and I'm like, "Book day?" And I ran in the car and got a book, because she's walked in, and the book is like, "How to Tell Your Relationship Is Over." I'm like, just take it. You said a book. You didn't say what book. It's a book. So I've always been... Listen, I'm at the door, you know, whether it's costume day, use a piece of paper, cutting out the eyes, you're a ghost, walk in. So I've always been honest and been that kind of parent, and I usually mingle and talk with all different parents, so I've never felt like inferior, like, oh, I'm not supposed to be. I've had my moments with different issues, but I think I've stayed grounded in the fact, like, this is me, and then I find I make those other mums who are so, like, up themselves, kind of feel like they can relax around me. Like, it's OK. We're mums, we're dads. Some things don't work and some things do.
Yeah.
And the main thing, our kids have got into school, and we're there for them whether we pick them up or whether we meet them at home, you know? So I understand. Botox, though, I don't know.
You brought it all flooding back to me now. I remember Grace waking up one morning and going, "It's Victorian Day today." And I'm like, what? And I literally sent her to school in a white shower cap. So I look good.
Did it?
But you know the whole Motherland programme? Have you watched Motherland?
So spot on.
With the whole different tables of the dynamics of the parents.
It's a power play, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what you find. It's a power play. Don't you find that, Brenda?
No.
No, you don't.
Unfortunately, you know, this is where the mother guilt comes in, because from when Jamal and Tanisha were born, I've always been working, permanently been working. And for me, it was breakfast club, because I have to be at work for 9 o'clock. So I have to drop them off by 8 o'clock to breakfast club. So I don't get to see anybody at the gates or wave goodbye or pick them up after school. So, you know, the mum guilt for me is real in that way. I kind of wish I had some kind of competitive, oh, yeah, look at my hair today or whatever. But I feel very, very...
But you were paying the bills.
Yeah, but when I listen to you guys, that's something that I wish that I could get back with my kids. And, you know,
But didn't you say you took them to breakfast club?
I took them to breakfast
You're still
club.
dropping them at school.
No, but that's not... That's like, there's your breakfast, there's your money for... You know, it's different to having... hi, what's your name and what class are you... What's your child? And I never, ever, ever had that.
But both of your amazing children are so grateful for how hard you worked. Yeah. And I got my finger out, so you know. Yeah, they're grateful for how hard you work. There's many mums out there and dads that will connect with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you still might have had your own wars. You might have been late. I bet you was one of those after-school mums that came late, yeah?
That's the thing. I mean, I wish I'd have been able to go to see the plays and things and football. I was just never...
It wasn't like you were sitting at home with your feet up.
No.
You were paying bills for them.
I had 2 working parents, and I would be dropped off at someone's house and they'd take me to school and they'd give me breakfast, or I'd be picked up by someone else after school. I rarely were picked up by my parents because they both worked, and I would say that is mostly a typical family home, because people got to pay the bills, Brenda.
And I'll tell you what, in 10 years, you'll be phoning us cuss and saying, oh, my God, I've got to pick up the grandkids. School runs this morning.
Still to come, how much do you credit your parents for your success? And is it rude to ring someone out of the blue? That's what the kids are saying, apparently. And we'll have all the behind-the-scenes gossip from the NTAs and telling you what really happened when the cameras weren't rolling. See you soon. Welcome back. He lifted the Glitterball trophy 3 years ago, but who does Bill Bailey have his money on for this year's Strictly? He's here at 1 p.m. And our debate of the day, is it rude to ring somebody out of the blue? We've also got all the NTA's backstage gossip in just a moment. But first, it's competition time and your chance to win a brand new car and a massive £80,000. They're good. Jean Johansson has all the details from Emmerdale.
Hello from Emmerdale. The National TV Awards took place just last night, so I'm on a whistle-stop tour of some of the nominees and to tell you about our fabulous cash prize that comes with a car. It all starts with £80,000 in totally tax-free cash. Just think of the adventures you could have with all that money. I'm travelling in style and you could be too in this gorgeous Audi Q5. It's worth over £59,000. It's a hybrid and it's got all the mod cons you could want. This is a prize package worth over £139,000. And with this prize, you could be taking days out to the set tours or flights to paradise. Remember, there is a guaranteed winner for every prize. If you enter, you could be walking away with £80,000 cash plus a brand new car. So what are you waiting for? Get your entry in now. For your chance to win, text prize to 81119. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to the website or enter via the This Morning app. Entries cost £2. Call 09068 78 1119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY36 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close Friday the 6th of October at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Thanks, Jean. Now, we want to say a big thank you to all of you who voted for us at last night's National Television Awards. Congratulations to all the winners. And Brenda, you were there. Give us the goss.
Well, it was just such a great night from when I did the show yesterday, and then all of the ladies sort of met in the dressing rooms. We got ready together.
I saw some Prosecco
There was
going
a
on.
lot of Prosecco flowing. So by the time we got to the red carpet, it was like, and gosh, it was so hot though. It was roasting. But Kelly, Charlene, me, Linda, Katy P. We all went, and it was just a lovely experience.
Oh, you look beautiful.
I always think, like, the Loose Women, whenever I've been and whenever, like, looking at the videos, we always look like we have the most fun out of everyone there.
We were up the in between, what you don't see in between when there are the awards, there's the on-stage warm-up guy, and we were up dancing, we were having a... But it was nice because other people were looking at us and getting involved. You see, I want to be part of that gang. That's the cool party.
We was on chairs last year.
Yeah.
It was such a great night, and there were some amazing winners there. There was a tribute to the wonderful Paul O'Grady.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of tears throughout the night. And Toby, the rescue dog. It's like they said Paul's name and he started talking to us. There was just tears. I was nearly running off with the dog because I love the dog so much and it's waggling its tail. But, you know, just a great vibe, great music. It was nice to see so many people. And then at the end of the night, because obviously I knew I had to be up early for this morning, I was kind of like Forrest Gump. I just ran down the corridor, just kept running all the way out
all the way
until I
here.
got home. Yeah.
I wish I was with you. I'll tell you what, for me, Sarah Lancashire being like... I screamed because I couldn't get there on time. Literally, as I saw she was there, I screamed. I was like, I love my loose girls, but oh my God, I didn't get to meet Sarah.
She is absolutely amazing.
How was that? How was...
She got a standing ovation because obviously she got the special award, and it's just watching how much work she's done and how long it's taken to get this recognition. It's a bit of a shame, but
She's
it's
a
nice.
stunning actress.
Oh my gosh!
It's amazing.
And they showed there was a tribute of all of the work she's done from Coronation Street, what people might not remember, to Happy Valley Now. It was a good night. A
very special moment, I thought, was the Best Newcomer and Bobby Brazier.
Oh,
who, of course,
my eyes out. I was
is
crying.
the son of Jade Goody and Jeff Brazier.
Yeah.
And he did a nice little speech. Have we got a little bit of that?
Bobby Brazier! This actually has very, very, very little to do with me, and everything to do with my dad. Over the course of the last 20 years, I've consistently heard him say, "Because I can." It was a mantra or a motto of his, and him just saying that, it's because I can.
Such a lovely, lovely boy and such a lovely tribute. I mean, it was interesting, him, like, crediting his parents with his success. Do you sort of give your parents any credit for where you've got in life?
I mean, not to their face. Yeah, 100%. You know, I knew really early on that I loved performing, and that came nowhere from my parents. You know, they didn't force me into that. I chose that. And at the age of 12, my parents had to make a really difficult decision for me to allow me to join a pop group, be taken on by, you know, a big team, music management team, and basically be looked after by other people and be taken out every day, and to make that decision to allow me to go and start a public life, I suppose. And that was really difficult for them, and I don't think I appreciated that until I became a parent and thinking of having to make that decision for my kids. And I know they didn't make it lightly, and if they hadn't have said yes, my life would have been really different. And I always say I wouldn't be where I am today without them taking that leap of faith in the people that asked them to and letting me go and follow my dream and do what I wanted to do.
And actually, yeah, because, I mean, I think now we're much more open to sort of the creative industries. Yeah. But back, certainly when I was young, it was like, well, you'll be a teacher, or, you know, you'll go to university if you can get in, or whatever. And parents were a lot more wary of if you were to, like, I want to be an actor or I want to be a singer, it would be, no, you've got to go and get a proper job. That resonates with you, doesn't it?
That resonates big time. I wanted to be in performing from, like, the age of 10, 11. I always knew that I loved singing because that was in the church, so let me take it. But my grandmother wasn't having a bar of it, absolutely not an option. It wasn't a proper job. It was what I was told, go and get yourself a proper job in an office. And obviously, you know, when you're 12, you don't really argue with your grandmother. That's another thing that you just don't do. So I went and got myself that job. But I think in retrospect, looking at it now, I carried that forward to Jamal and Tanisha with when they went to school. Jamal was probably not... He would always say he was more creative, not on the technical side of things. So, but I would say, go to school and get those studies, and then you've always got something to fall back on.
100%.
And so he would say, you know, I'm not only am I a cameraman in the creative, I'm a cameraman with a BTEC.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that's important to know that you've got that security.
Good
blanket
advice,
there.
Judy.
Yeah. No. You know, I grew up... I think for me, it's strange, we all knew that we wanted to be in this field from when you was young. One, I didn't think it was something that was, you know, someone like me could do. And for my mum, I think being a single parent and, you know, coming over from Jamaica, to them it was, I can't speak for all, but for my mum, it was very much about get a little job and stability. For them, you know, the dream... for them, the dream was coming here and being able to have a life where they've got a stable job, a decent home, and, you know, they've got open to healthcare and things like that. That was, for some of them, their dream. So when we're talking about dreams and aspirations, for them, they just wanted to know that they set a foundation for stability. And I think if you look at it, I know for many parents, West Indian, African or working class, those same children who they said, no, that's not a stable job. When they've become successful, you see mummy up at the front. I knew it had it in him from when he was young. But what it is, they've now seen that their child has the stability. That's all they're frightened and fearful, because they've been through it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Right, still to come. We're asking, is it rude to ring somebody out of the blue? And do you still have a paper diary? I certainly do. Plus, Bill Bailey's here, but did you know that's not his real name? He'll be telling us his real identity after the break. And in the meantime, can you guess which of these celebrities also have fake names?
We're mixing it up on Loose Women as half the panel is occupied by two generations of the modern man. Good Morning Britain's Richard Madeley and Love Island's Ian Sterling.
It's going to be fun, this.
They'll join the fabulously funny Judy Love and your very own Angel of the North, me, Denise Welsh. That's Loose Women and Men.
Next week.
Women Live, keeping you company this lunchtime. It's the Groovers, Judy Love, Frankie Bridge, Brenda Edwards and me, Jane Moore.
Good tune.
We asked you before the break which one of these stars you thought had a fake name. That was Whoopi Goldberg, David Tennant and Reese Witherspoon. The answer is all of them.
Oh.
Yes. Whoopi Goldberg's actually Karen Elaine Johnson. Reese is actually Laura Jean Reese. And David Tennant is really David McDonald.
Wow, I can see why he changed it.
So there you go. Well, that question was inspired by today's guest, who himself goes under a different name, and it's time to find out what. He's a man of many talents, having made a career in comedy and becoming a dancing king after winning Strictly back in 2020. And there's no signs he's throwing away his dancing shoes anytime soon with his brand new campaign. Please welcome Bill Bailey.
High five.
And what's your real name?
Oh. Well, it's quite direct, this show.
Oh, yeah.
Loose Women.
Well, actually, my first name is Mark.
Oh.
And the reason for that is that's what I was christened. So it's not the most exciting story. The end. There we go. No.
Why'd you change it?
Well, Bill Bailey, it came from my geography teacher at school, because there's an old song called Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey? And it was written just about the turn of the century, the 1900s. And this became a kind of standard of jazz bands, you know, throughout the country and the world. And so Bill Bailey, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey, was this song. And so he said, when I was in the class, he said, oh, Bailey, oh, well, Won't You Come Home, Bill Bailey? And everyone just went, what? What are you talking about? But it stuck. And I've just ended up with Bill. So it's one of those things.
And now even your family call you Bill, right?
Well, yeah, they do. But luckily, that's handy, isn't it? But my parents never really got on board with it. My mum, particularly, she didn't like Bill as a name, because Mark was my name. So when people would phone up, girlfriends, you know, would phone up and ask for Bill, she'd say, there's no Bill here, and put the phone down.
I'd do the same, I reckon. It's not what she called you, is it?
No. Well, that's right. And Bill is a sort of, you know, it's a nickname. So she did. And my dad, bless him, he still calls me Mark when we talk, you know, when we're having conversations. But he gets, you know, he says Bill, otherwise people don't know who he's talking about.
Do you feel more like a Bill or Mark?
I'm more of a Bill, really, I think.
Talking about parents, because I don't know if you just heard us chatting about, you know, whether or not you credit your parents with some of your success. Do you? Were they very supportive of you?
They were very supportive, yes, because they both worked in the NHS their whole lives. My mum was a nurse and my dad was a doctor, was a GP, and so I think they thought perhaps I might follow in their footsteps and take on a medical career. But I didn't show any affinity for that. I showed much more, you know, affinity for the arts, for music and...
But you dropped out of uni, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
So that must have been quite a big deal for them.
They were a little bit concerned. I think they were more concerned about, like you were saying, you know, any parent worries about their kid and how they're going to, you know, make a living and support themselves. And I think they were a bit concerned about that. And then, you know, but they were still very supportive over those years. And I remember when they first came to see one of my shows, and my mum was just suddenly... She said... I remember she said to me, because she would sit there with my dad, and she goes, oh, look at all these people. They're coming to see you. There's no one else on.
Coming to see Mark.
Just me.
Coming to see our Mark.
Come to see our Mark, yeah, exactly.
We are undefeatable, the campaign you're here to talk about today. Tell us about that.
That's right. Well, as you say, the campaign's called We Are Undefeatable, and it's called Freedom to Move. And it's basically a campaign to... It's aimed at people living with long-term health conditions and trying to encourage them, to support them and get them to be active. And that's really what it's about. And it's part of a campaign by Sport England, and it's really to sort of encourage people generally to be more active, but specifically people who've got some condition which maybe means that they have good days, bad days, days when they don't feel like, you know, doing anything or being active. And these are just simple ways for people to be active around the home. Because part of this campaign came about, in the course of the campaign, they found that, you know, during the research, that a lot of people, well, you know, more people now are not going out as a result of cost of living crisis. So, you know, the gym membership, I mean, it costs money, you know, and some people are cutting back on that. And this is very much a way of... This is where this campaign comes in, because it says, look, you know, around the house, a part of your daily routine, you can still be active. You can still find creative ways to be active. Like, even in the kitchen, we did a bit of a fun video where we're using, you know, tins of beans, tins of fruit. You use them as weights, you know, and, like, of course, why not? And, you know, in the bedroom, a bit of doing the duvet or a bit of hoovering. Or...
Down, girl.
What's going to come out there?
Well, obviously, I mean, there's, you know, there's other things you can do there, but...
And are you still dancing?
Still dancing, yeah. Non-stop dancing. No,
that's something you can do in the home, definitely, as well.
Absolutely, exactly. You know, put some sounds on, a few tunes, you know, turn a bit
And do you still do the Strictly moves, or are you just, like, generally dancing?
I just like generally dancing, but those moves, well, you know, Judy will tell you this.
Gosh.
Those steps, once they're in, they'll never leave.
Sometimes I just find myself going...
Yeah.
Just like that,
Well, do you know, there's one, right?
Oh.
OK, I'm going to get up now.
Is that...
I'm getting up now. like, you know when you have to do the... Should I...
Yeah, go down.
OK, all right, OK, all right, OK.
Come on, Mark.
Come on, Mark. Should I stay on this perilous
No,
ledge?
health and safety.
Or can I step down to
Yes.
this?
Coming with you,
Go
Viv.
down
Right.
there.
Oh, hold on. Come on. There you go. So, now the thing was, you know, when... Oh, right, OK, we're doing a little shimmy. All right.
Teach me.
No, well, you know... Oh, OK, here we go. All right. Oh, I don't know what's happening. No, OK, here we go. So we'll do this one, right? When you go up like this.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. High five.
Let me go.
All right. Oh, we're doing this now. You know what?
I mean, they
tell
told me
you
to
what.
come in and ask some questions.
Yeah.
Well, you can
Still got it.
certainly still move. But
Still
your
got it.
Strictly experience was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it? Because it was COVID.
It was.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very strange time for everyone. And, you know, I mean, we were just in this kind of bubble. I mean, in a sorry, it's a bit of a pun, but we were in a COVID bubble, but also in an actual bubble, really, because we didn't go out after training. You know, you spent 12 hours training, and then we would go back to home, and that was it. And then we're back to training the next day. And after the dance, after the big show on a Saturday night, there was no carousing. There was no...
Like my team last year, we did a couple of years, we did a lot.
You
But
go
you
out.
had your amazing partner, OT.
Yes.
You still in contact with her?
Oh, yes.
Oh, my gosh, and it said that you suggested baby names?
Well, that's right, because, you know, when she said she was having a baby, I said, well, look, I mean, here's a couple of names for you. Bill, for a boy. Obviously, and Bailey if it's a girl. You know, it makes perfect sense, right? Bailey's a good name, right?
Yeah.
It's a cool name.
It makes perfect sense. And your boy, he's 20 now, right?
He's
Max?
nearly 20, yeah, 19, yeah.
Is he showing any propensity to comedy?
Do you know what? He loves playing his guitar, and he's got a very good sense of humour. I suppose he's grown up around comics, you know. It's like, you know, it's like yourself, you know, you're surrounded by...
Sink or swim.
Comics, and, you know, kids pick up on that. They pick up on the rhythm of Tony. Well, I remember when he was a kid, when he was at junior school, he was going into school one day, and he said... And he told me this joke. He goes, Dad, he goes, I'm late for my exaggeration class, right? Which already I like as a setup. And I said, how late? And he goes, about 1 million years, right? And I thought, well, I said, I'm having that.
I think we're going to be seeing him on the stage very
Yes, I
soon
think
as
so.
well. Bill Bailey, everybody, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much.
After the break, we're talking to-do lists. Also, as it's revealed that leaving voicemails is on the decline, we'll be playing voicemail roulette live. I've got Frankie's phone somewhere. She's got 127 messages that she hasn't listened to. But that is about to change. See you soon.
Lord.
No, look, I've got to go. I'm on loose swimming. I've got to go. Bye.
Take the chicken out of the freezer.
Bye. Honestly, some people... hello again. Still to come. Is it rude to ring somebody out of the blue? Competition time first, and we have a prize package worth over £139,000. Junior Hansen has all the details from Emmerdale.
Hey up from Emmerdale, and I have an awesome prize package for you worth over £139,000. It all starts with this Audi Q5. It's a hybrid, it's got heated seats and 19-inch alloy wheels. Nice. Then the best bet, you'll also win a massive £80,000 in totally tax-free cash. Just imagine all those extra zeros in your bank account. The National TV Awards took place last night and I'm taking this prize on a road trip to the locations of some of the nominees. Ooh, a cuppa. Thanks, Brenda. My adventure is taking me to Brenda's Cafe, Home Farm and the Wool Pack. But where could this prize take you if you won? You'll never know unless you enter. The quickest way is by text, so get your entries in now. Bye, Everdale! For your chance to win, text prize to 81119. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 78 1119. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY36 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close Friday the 6th of October at 3 p.m. Good luck.
Thanks, Jean. Now, a recent study shows that women find making lists pleasurable. I can totally relate to this. I always have a to-do list on the go. It's not in a book, it's always on like a little scrap bit of paper. And every time I think of something, I'm going to put that on my to-do list. And it's the greatest satisfaction when I go, I've done that. I can now cross that out. And then I transfer what I haven't yet done onto next day's list.
Ooh, pleasurable.
Do you know what? I do have... sometimes, when I'm having, like, an admin day and I'm really, like, purposeful in what I'm doing, all the other admin days I'm not really doing anything, but I put... But there's specific admin days, you know that day where you're like, I have to do it because all the deadlines, and then I would do a to-do list. And when I was working as a social worker, I used to do a to-do list quite a lot because you had a lot of targets and things you had to do. But it is a nice feeling when you scratch it out, and I like the feeling of people phoning me and I'm going to them, look, right now, I'm not sure if I can meet you because I'm only halfway down my to-do list. It makes me feel quite important, but it is, all jokes aside, it's really good for my dyslexia that I'm able to, just take it off and go one by one and keep me focused.
Yeah,
so,
I would forget it otherwise.
It has to be on a piece of paper, you're right. Yeah.
Brad?
I'm a bit of both. I don't know if it's the accounts payable in me that you have to be organised, you have to know what you're doing. So my phone is a to-do list in itself. So, like, you know, I like to have things colour-coded. It's like I've got
I haven't worked out how to do that on my phone. That's why I can't use it.
Brenda taught me the other
Everything's the
day.
same colour.
No, there's about 5 or 6 different colours you can have, and I do use all of them. But I do also have a Filofax. And I love a Filofax because you can, you know, you take out for the year and then save it and put it in.
But what if you lost it?
Oh, yeah, no, it stays in my handbag. That doesn't go anywhere. So that's
Is that
next to me.
dated?
But I do have a to-do list currently because
Wow.
I'm going through
Look at
my
that.
house move. So I tick things off.
You've got a ruler.
What is that? Dining chairs. Dining chairs, 3 out of 4. I've only got 3 out of 4 dining chairs so far.
You go deep in your...
I can't
To-do list envy now.
I've got to pick up the next one.
I've got diary envy. If I'm honest with you, I had a diary. I used to use one a lot, especially when I was working, and I feel jealous because I would fill out the January and February, and then it would just start...
I bought you a present.
What are you going to put in it, though? What's the only thing going to be?
I'm going to fill up a few months, and then the only thing that's going to be in there is my birthday.
There was a little thing on it, but it fell off.
Oh, that's so sweet. Welcome to the Filofax family.
It's so sweet. They're not getting it back.
You can put my birthday in there.
I will do.
Now, if your phone makes this sound, would you pick it up? Well, over half of us admit to ignoring calls from co-workers to partners to parents. Some people even say it's rude to ring somebody out of the blue these days. Well, we asked you at home, and 71% disagreed with that. And Brenda, I think you're one of them.
Yes, if someone's phoning you, either answer the phone and say, I can't speak right now because I'm in a meeting, but always answer that call. I'm not blanking anybody. If it's like, what am I running from? Who am I running from?
But they don't know you're not in a meeting. You could be in a meeting.
I go back to the normal, like, landline house phone. Before you had a mobile and you can't see who is calling you, you're going to answer that phone, or you might miss something important, like a proposal or something. I don't know. You know, but I just think that's... If I phone somebody and I'm not texting to say, can I call you? No. I'm going to call you because I want to talk to you about something right now, and if I can't get you, then I do send a voice note.
Yeah. Oh.
I'll send a voice note saying,
A voice
I
note.
just tried to call. Yeah.
Not a voicemail.
Not a voicemail. A lot of people don't have their voicemail set up, and I hear pure dialing, it's not possible to, and it just switches off. So I will send a voice note.
See, I never answer. I mean, unless it's my kids, because they never ring me, really. They'll always text me. So if they're ringing, I know it's important. But I never answer my phone.
But you can also set up for... I have different rings for different people as well.
But mine's always on
I just think if it's really...
Are you saying
always on silent?
You never answer it because you're busy, or you genuinely will look at it and go, not today?
Sometimes that. But, you know, like, if someone's ringing you after a long... Or you know it's going to be a really long call and you're literally about to go in somewhere for an appointment, and I'd rather pretend I'm busy and then send them a text going, sorry, I'm in a meeting, I'll call you later.
Yeah.
Because you quite often go, yeah, sorry, look, I'm just about to go into a meeting. And then they'll start talking.
Yeah.
So I think
then
rather
if
than
the phone
that...
rings, you didn't answer it and you've forgotten that it rang earlier, so then you get... That's
They'll
how you
ring
get that
again.
long list like this one's got of 212 people.
I
you
don't
answer
like
the phone,
no.
Frankie?
No, it's on silent, which drives everyone mad.
Yeah, me too.
And that's why I got the watch, because then that would vibrate and I wouldn't have to have my phone
You're not
loud.
wearing it, though.
Well, no, because I'm on TV. So then I wouldn't have to, like... then I could look at it and be like, nah, I don't need to talk. But my friends know not to ring me. And if I ring them or if they ring me and I answer, they go, you all right? And I'm like, you just rang me! Like, oh, yeah, what's wrong? I just don't like it. I don't like the noise of the phone. I don't like talking on the phone. If I've got to make an appointment and I've got to do it on the phone, I'll find somewhere else to go where I can do it.
Well, we're going to play
online.
voicemail roulette now because Frankie has... How many unlistened to messages have you got?
Yeah, don't leave me a voicemail because I won't listen. It's gone down a bit since this morning because I played some, like 127.
Right.
Yeah. My
Go on,
kind of
then.
girl.
Press one.
Press any.
OK. Oh, God. It's like a gynecology appointment or something.
Oh,
It's Wayne.
Hello, this is...
Oh, no, that's not Wayne! Set myself up. Oh, hang on. You can't hear it.
having a phone.
I can't do it.
We heard it then.
You know what? There's no point in you even having a phone.
See, you know what? There's no point in you even having a phone because I never answer it. And all my voice messages mainly are from Wayne. I don't know why he keeps trying to do it. Look, and this is another one from Wayne.
Hello.
Oh, poor
No, that's not Wayne. Look, he leaves his phone. This is why I don't answer the phone to him, because he's left it in his pocket and pocket dialed me. That's what
there you
all
go.
of my messages are.
Poor Wayne, you have my sympathy. That is all from us. Strictly's Johannes will be here tomorrow. Oh, we love Johannes. His outfit was great last night, wasn't it, at the NTAs? Have a great afternoon, everybody, and enjoy the sun.